Vande Gujarat.
Good evening, friends. Congratulations, first of all, you all are going to complete your bachelor or master degree, and this is the occasion now you will come into the real world of pharma industry. So before starting, I just like to give my brief introduction. Myself, Dr. Vasanani. I am working as a assistant general manager into the IPR department of Amneal Pharmaceutical. Recently, in one survey, I was rated as a top 100 IP leaders of India. So it is pleasant to talk with you all guys. And basically, today, I will cover an aspect of intellectual property rights and business development. What is the role in pharma industry? So basically, today's lecture or today's our discussion, that is mainly regarding what to choose by you guys as a career path, and that is very important. Believe me, guys, this is kind of a marriage. Let's say if you do a marriage, then it will be very difficult to either change your spouse. So your career is kind of that type of serious affair by which you need to live with. So at the time of choosing career, you need to be so conscious, and you need to go based on your interest, like where your mentality gets suits and in which department you can grow. So that is very important part. Now I will go with the brief presentation about what IPR and business development departments are. So in today's lecture, we will go through what is IPR, what is business development. These both departments are very crucial for any pharma industry. And if you will get a job in this particular fields, then definitely, believe me, it will be a very good career and fruitful career for you guys. So we will discuss about what type of functions this department have, what type of future growth options are there, and what type of opportunities you can see, and what is the role. That all we will discuss in brief. So I am not going to discuss about what all other departments are into the pharma industry. Maybe my other colleagues has discussed about that. But here I will specifically focus on both this department. So we'll now quickly move to what is intellectual property rights. So first, for that, rights, what is rights. So what is intellectual property? Intellectual property is anything which is get generated by the intellect of person. That is intellectual property. So this is kind of very, if we'll tell in very short, then it is creation of mind. So based on, one can think about protecting these particular rights as well. So this is an example I have mentioned. It is a DPI, dry powder inhaler device. So this device in industry are able to protect from various IP routes, and which gives a monopoly to particular industry. So if you will see this particular slide, then it is mentioning for this particular device to protect, it is possible, you can take a utility patent, you can take a design patent, you can keep it as a trade secret, you can take a trademark of word mark as well as design, and then you can copyright, package insert or information leaflet. So these all are the protection available which you can use to protect. So what type of rights one can get by the IP? So IP is a kind of exclusive right, means it will prevent others from coming into your area. It is a very similar kind of any property right. Let's say if you have your own house and you are the owner, then no one can come and argue like this is my house. So it is the same kind of like whatever intellectual properties get generated by your mind, and if you have protected that with the intellectual property rights, then no one can come and argue that like this is my right. And even government gives a leverage to a IP owner, like they can sue other party. So nature of intellectual property rights. So these are the key attributes. So from that I do not want to go by one, but very specific are kind of intangible property. So one cannot touch the IP, like what is the protection, but so it is intangible property, it is not kind of tangible property, right? And the other point I want to touch upon is territorial. So patent or IP rights are territorial right. Means let's say if you have a IP rights in India, then you cannot go and ask the privilege into other country, let's say US or something. To get a similar type of privilege, you need to have each and every country this type of rights. So it is known as the territorial rights. Now one specific term is negative rights. So IP protection is kind of negative rights, means it will give you a protection against exploitation, but it always not tell you like you can use this, because for using you need to check other IP protection as well. So now importance of IPR regime in pharma industry. So people will tell like what is the need of this particular IPR department into the pharma, right? So if you will see why this IPR department is necessity for the pharma, then like pharma industry is not kind of you will put rupee today and you will earn tomorrow. It is a long term process. Here it is a innovation directed process, and the companies required a reward for innovation. So if it is for smaller period of time, then one will not get a proper reward in pharma industry. So in order to get a longer period, let's say if you'll think any new drug to get developed, then the cost associated is around $1 billion US, and the timeline is around 10 years. So now consider a scenario, if any new molecules comes into the market, and second day the other player who are a kind of copycat version will come into the market. So the industry who are doing innovation, they didn't get anything, and that type of company will get bankrupt within a shorter period of time. So this IPR regime will give a protection for their innovation, means they give a patent rights, then trademark, then copyright. By that type of tool, the innovative company can keep innovation, and based on the exclusive time period, they will get a reward. So this type of IPR regime promote an innovative mindset. Then if you'll see from the commercial viewpoint, because of this IPR regime, it making this pharma industry or pharma business, because otherwise it is like very long term, then regulatory associated or regulatory problem, and there is not much rewarding. But if you will put IPR regime into that, then definitely company will think for the longer time and will get a better commercial return. Then better medicine to public. You will think like you have always heard like because of the IPR people don't get the medicine, but it is not true. If IPR regime is not there, then no one will invest their money into the innovation, and based on that you will not get the better medicine. So in order to get a better medicine to the public or society, the IPR regime is necessity, and the making a cost effective way. So you will tell that like the processes which are patented, they are kind of very costly compared to cheap. So why I have written a cost effective way? Yeah, you might be right. Like for initial days or for a time period of 20 years, it might be costly for the product or process which are coming by the IP rights. But then after it becomes a public, so everyone will try a cost-effective way of producing that particular material, and based on that, overall healthcare cost goes down with the continuous innovations. So this is an importance of IPR regime, the pharma industry. So now we will discuss about what type of role IP people perform into the pharma industry. So basically, they are a kind of lawyers which will prevent your company to infringe any other third party's IP rights. So it is a lawyer which are preventing your company to go and put a put a leg into another IP rights. So based on that, you get sued or you get damages. Then these guys prevents litigation cost to their industry. In addition to that, they will protect the idea which are generated by the in-house R&D folks. Then it will provide a competitive intelligence. How it can provide a competitive intelligence? Because they will monitor each and every IP surrounding that particular molecule. So they will they are keeping a watch on each and every industry, each and every competitor, what they are doing into the particular area. And based on that, they can update management and they can take a strategic decision. Then they have a very good role in portfolio selection, means what type of product need to be taken into the portfolio, which on long term will be beneficial for the organization. And then I have put a many plus sign, means your role may be endless into the IPR department. That is based on your thirst and the company's vision. So there are multiple roles one can take. Now we'll discuss briefly about the business development. Till time we have discussed about the IPR. So what is business development? Business development is you can consider like IP and business development are the key drivers for particular pharma industry, and they are kind of engine for the pharma industry. So if we'll talk about the business development, if you want to tell in simple one-liner, then this is a department which think like owner. Means how can I expand my current business? That is a business development department. If we will talk about role of business development guys, then they are helpful to develop a future strategy of the company, from where future revenue will come, what things we need to do currently, what type of product pipeline is a pharma industry we need to have, then within what time we need to do a particular execution so that we can make our product as a profitable product. Then strategic advantage into the market, means based on the situation, what product need to be first take into the hopper, or from where need to start a marketing, that type of decision. And this department essentially think about all the department, starting from the product introduction into the hopper till the product comes into the market. And they do a risk benefit analysis. Let's say if right now a company is investing this much of money into a particular product, then what type of benefit the company will get, and within what time. Then they will check about the resource, what all resources are available and how we can utilize it maximally. Then they will maximize the profit based on the available resources. So this is an overall work culture of business development department, what they do about the industry. This is a 3-step process which you can go through on your own. It is identification, evaluation, and negotiation. This is a whole business development 3-step process. Then this is a matrix I have prepared for the basic principles for the product selection or business development guys. So I am not going into detail about this whole matrix chart, but you can study on your own. So now we will briefly discuss about whatever the interesting things for you guys are there. So we'll tell about the job profile of IPR professional. So being a IPR professional, what type of job profile you can get? So you can be a patent agent, you can be a patent attorney, which kind of litigating the patent. You can be a patent examiner, you can be a patent and IP expert, advisor or consultant. You can be a patent prosecutor. So these are government jobs. These are also available, as well as you can do a private practice also. Now, if we'll see from the pharma industry itself, then the IP professional working in pharma industry has a job profile of developing a non-infringement product, means guiding a formulation scientist, then doing a patent invalidation, means invalidating a innovator's patent, then do a patentability searches for company's innovation, and then take a innovation as a technology, platform technology, then drafting and filing of patent application in order to get IP rights, identifying target filing and launch date. That is a kind of activity which required in starting of any product before taking any product taking into the hopper. Then litigation, proper litigation and litigation related cost reduction. So this is a job profile of IPR professional. So now everyone will thinking like what type of growth opportunities this department have. So I came with that thing as well. So this slide shows the increments in IP filing in India. So if you'll see from the starting, then 2016, it is tremendous growth into the IP filing in India. So you being a patent agent, there is obviously a opportunity. Now we'll discuss about what type of growth opportunities available in this particular area if you will join as a this department after completing your